Welcome to the Not Nerd Podcast. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor. Yeah. Okay, I will banter if your
Yeah.
audio's not
Okay.
working.
Now I think you can hear me. I didn't see my VU meters. So to pull back the curtain for those of you at home, it's a new adventure every time. Something gets
Yes.
toggled off, something gets pulled out. So according to my meters, you can hear me, you can hear Nate, you can see me, you can see Nate, and the world's a wonderful place.
Yes. I wonder if.
Uh-oh, what are you gonna? I'm gonna switch over to you real quick. I'm going to switch over to me. Yes. Oh, and Spyro's in the background for those of you
Yes.
wanting to see.
Little Dave plays games teaser.
Yes.
Okay.
So what's going on there? Are you looking at the YouTubes?
I am looking at the YouTubes, and I was trying to see. I believe I can turn on the audio and just hear it in my ears to
Oh,
make
that's
sure.
weird.
So I can check it. We don't, Producer Todd, you are no longer needed. I can check the audio myself. So all
Well,
of that for naught.
I don't believe that. I think we need producer Todd because
Well, we do.
you've got other things to work on besides
And
monitoring the show.
his ears were burning. He says looks and sounds good, although I'm house sitting at a place with the world's slowest internet connection, so my experience may vary.
Yeah.
And he says, "You can't fire me. I quit." No, Todd, please. And just a quick little sidestep.
Oh, hold on. There we go.
Todd, for all of your services to us, I picked up something at a garage sale. It was nothing from the picture that I sent you, but there was something else that I will need to get to you
Hmm.
that maybe we'll talk about on the podcast at some point. But
That
a very
sounds
cool little trinket.
intriguing. Now, Todd is
Yes,
one who frequents the Goodwill bins
yes.
often. I guess frequents would imply that it's often. But anyway, we're not here to discuss the English language, but rather Todd's shopping habits. I'm going. I think you're going to find a hard time locating an object that Todd has not already come across or has purchased for himself. So
Th-
uh, I'm
This might
intrigued.
be it.
Okay.
I'm the intrigue, and for everybody besides you, Todd and I, very little interest. But I have a feeling this could show up on the Mark and Toddcast in a future episode. But anyways, that is not what we are here to talk about. We are here to
Okay.
talk about technology.
Yes.
Uh, and before we do that, I did want to show off my hat. What do we
Oh
got
yeah.
there, Dave?
Oh, the Marathon Taverna, which I thought was a
Yes.
weird word. Is that a real word?
It's Greek,
Oh,
since it
it's
is a Greek-based uh, bar. And the reason I'm wearing this hat this past week, I celebrated 13 years, 13 with a T, years DJing at the marathon,
that's a
which
lot.
is a lot. It is insane, but I love doing it.
Well, no wonder. No wonder that I was having trouble with that word because it's Greek to me.
Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
yes, indeed.
Okay, well, now we can move on to some
Okay,
follow-up.
okay. Well, let's get on to some follow-up.
And last week, we had our very special episode, which introduced new technical difficulties because we were in the same room after watching the Apple vent. But as we mentioned last week, and it happens every year, we have a little bit more information. People read the fine print. One of the things that it doesn't kill me because I'm still alive, but bothers me to no end is all the hot takes people have about the new devices before anybody's used the new devices.
Right.
Everybody on Facebook or X or wherever it is, and they're like, "Oh,
Apple's a
well, the
failure
iPhone's not
because of
even any
this thing.
better."
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
an
and I was telling
incremental
you,
update.
yes, yes. I'm in a couple Apple Watch Ultra groups, as one is on Facebook,
Hmm.
and everybody's like, "Oh man, the Ultra 2 isn't very cool at all. I was so excited it was going to be a big jump this year." And my thought is, if it was a huge jump, the same people would be complaining, saying, "This was a huge jump.
I
I just
just
bought
bought
mine
this thing
last
for
year."
$800 and
Yeah.
now it's obsolete. Yeah,
Yes,
you can't win.
people are not happy, but I will start off by talking about the Apple Watch Ultra. So I was saying last week, hey, you know what, man, I'm really tempted by the new one. It's got that new pinch feature. The screen's brighter. They showed off that new watch face. Well, I am happy to report that for one,
Mmm.
I've got the new watch face, and then no, it's not 939, it's 636, but it
That's
is
for
nearly
people.
impossible. There we go.
That's for people who
And
have bad vision. I could see it from
yes,
space.
I did some research. I love this new face. I have one minor quibble with it, but I'm not going to get into that. I did some research because I saw everybody talking about assistive touch, which
Hmm.
has existed on the Apple Watch, which is a feature that allows you to do things, and you can, let's see if I double grip, then it like highlights the first icon, and then you can double tap and go through stuff. And I've been playing around with this. It's available on every Apple Watch since the Series 4. You
Hmm.
can turn this on, and it has a double tap feature. Now, it's not as smooth and as streamlined, but it has been great because it used to be like I'm sitting there, a notification comes up, and I just slap my watch to make it
Wow.
go away.
Violent.
Now I look at it, I can double pinch of the fingers, notification goes away. If I'm using the camera remote, double pinch of the fingers, takes a picture. I do not need the Apple Watch Ultra 2. So um, there are some advantages to it
Hmm.
over mine, the Apple Watch Ultra 1. But I have resigned to not upgrading this year, much to the dismay of Dave, who I was
Yes.
going to sell mine to. But
I was
I,
going to say I'm very disappointed, honestly.
I know you had said offline that you were um, looking at Apple Watch Ultras on Facebook, and you were thinking about getting a
What's
new
wrong?
one. Have you made any decisions on that?
I haven't, and as why while we're discussing this, I'm going to fix my my browsers.
A
So
little zoomed
it's
in.
so zoomy right now. Um, I have been looking, and it seems like the going price for a used 1 year old Apple Watch Ultra is around 550 to 650. Some
Mm,
people are very, very impressed with their Apple Watch Ultra, and they're
yes.
asking absurd prices for it. Um, so I have looked. I've almost reached out to some people regarding their 500 and 550
Yes.
type prices, but I'll look at them and it's like doesn't come with a charger or watch band or
For
um,
that much?
I know just random things. I'm like none of these
Oh,
deals seem very good. So anyway,
well,
it's
I
kind of
think maybe
crazy.
what you need to do is wait till people have their Apple Watch Ultra 2s, the Richie Riches that just
Yeah,
upgrade to the 2,
right.
and then they'll be like, "Oh, I should get rid of my one." I think we're kind of at a sweet spot. Apple's offering 380 for trade-in on the Apple Watch Ultra 1
Ah,
because I
that's
took a look.
see, I would be happy to pay you 400, and since you're my friend, I would go higher than that.
Yes, yes.
But for some rando, I'm not gonna pay much more than that. But only getting 380 would break my heart if I were someone who owned one of
Yes.
these beauties. So one of the things, and I guess we'll just move this into some discussion.
Yeah.
I've been contemplating, well, maybe I should take a look at the Series 7 because, or I'm sorry, not the 7, the Series 9. Is that where we're on
Series
now?
9, the newest one. Yeah.
Because, I mean, the Ultra is good and all, but you can get it for nearly half as much brand new. It's like 449 or something like that. And I'm like, maybe I should just get a regular watch. Maybe I don't
Yeah.
have to have the Ultra, but the Ultra is so cool.
Yeah, it
So
is.
cool.
And it does have the action button, which the Series 9 doesn't, and
And I'm going to
all
get
the
the
rugged
iPhone
features
15.
when you're scuba diving.
Well, the iPhone 15 Pro Max also has the action button, so maybe
Yeah.
I'll get confused if I don't have it on both
Don't
devices.
have it on your. I use it so rarely on my watch. I do think that is a good point, Dave. The Series 9, the latest one, is more than enough Apple Watch for most
For
people. It
most people,
is,
yeah.
as long as you're not an extreme outdoorsman, which neither of us tend to be.
A
The
sportophile.
Apple Watch Ultra does look so cool. The
Yeah,
one
so
thing I have not tried, and I'm always, I could try it live on the podcast, but I'd probably break the microphone. I have not tried yet after having this for, I think I got mine in November, so about 10 months, is there is a siren feature built into it.
oh
And I
yeah.
never feel like I'm in a place to try out the siren feature, but I'll try to do that this week and record it. I'll find a soundproof room somewhere and put in some earplugs and
Yeah.
try that out. But yeah, so the Apple Watches, and one of the things that we didn't mention or I didn't understand last week is pre-orders started right after the event for the Apple Watches, but they're not quite as crazy in demand as the iPhones. And Dave, I awoke last Friday at 5 a.m. Pacific
Yeah, you
to
did.
pre-order my phone, and I think that you did not.
No, I woke up, well, so I stayed up pretty late that night. Late enough that I was contemplating just staying up clear around the horn, you know?
Yeah,
But I went to bed and I set my alarm for 4:45 and 4:55 or something like that. And I was going to wake up. I had it in my cart. I was going to hit go and then go back to bed. I don't recall ever turning off the alarms or getting up or
Val,
whatever.
get up and turn it off
Yeah, I guess. She said I
get it
did.
in
I
your
don't remember
sleep.
it. I don't remember it. She said, "Yeah,
Yes.
you turned it off." And I was like, don't remember. So around 5:45, right around 6 o'clock ish, that time frame, I awoken in a panic state
Yeah.
of, oh no, wait, is it 4:40? No, I'm an hour late. So I got on there and it looks like my iPhone 15 Pro Max Natural Titanium 256 gigabyte iPhone will be here around between October 9th and the 16th. And you gave me some hope saying that, well, perhaps it will ship earlier.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I have a
Oh,
good feeling Apple is famous for
hey,
under promising and over delivering.
no,
What?
we got driveway cam action. My
Oh,
wife is
hey, oh.
in the car. She's going to her Bible study. She's pulling up her pants. No one tell her that I put her on
Yes,
driveway
put her on
cam.
driveway cam.
But she's getting in. It
Let
looks,
us hope that she does not get in an accident, although that would make for great YouTube live.
yeah.
And
Maybe
uh,
maybe like I have the web browser with us in the little windows over here on the side. Maybe I
yeah,
need to do that for the driveway cam so that we can
you can
still
see
be
our
there.
facial reactions.
Yeah. So she gonna
Okay.
hit my blue
Ooh,
car.
eat. It's
Just
close.
missed it. There we go. Missed it by that much. Well, this is exciting. This is the
Yeah,
first time.
that's the most action we've had on driveway cam. Thank you for noticing that.
Yeah.
Todd did say to try the siren now. If there's ever been a time or place, it would
Yeah.
be to do it. Should
Well,
I just do it, Dave? Should we try out the siren?
go ahead and try it, but I'm concerned. Is it going to alert authorities?
No, this is just a siren.
Okay.
This isn't the SOS. So if
Okay.
I hold,
Let's do it.
okay, here we go.
I can't wait.
Oh, no, what was that? I swiped the wrong thing.
Hmm.
Oh, the compass backtrack. I
Oh
do not
boy.
need compass
This is
backtrack sitting at my chair.
the
Okay, here we go.
all right.
Oh, it starts off nice and quiet.
Yeah, that's terrible. This is if you're under an avalanche or rock piles or something like that.
Yeah, there's got to be a DJ that has
That sound.
done some mixes with that sound. It's not as
Yeah.
bad as I thought it would be. So, and it does give you the emergency call slider there. But yeah, so
Right.
hey, 10 months later, thank you, Todd, for motivating me to. But it just plays dubstep. It is. It's a dubstep siren built into the Apple Watch.
Right.
Um,
Those
yeah,
those of you at home might see that I'm perhaps
watching
a
Mr.
little.
Beast videos.
Look at this.
Distracted.
Look at this. See, I got this TV
Oh,
behind me. We're watching
oh, that video.
Wayne, no, Vaughn. Vaughn's going to
Vaughn, the
show us
Apple.
all about the 15.
Yes.
Anyway, I enjoy this video.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Anyway, I'm
It's a
gonna.
great little video. Yeah, let's. So you ordered the natural titanium. I
Hmm.
got the black titanium because I can't. Even though the natural would match my Apple Watch pretty nice, I have to do black phones. There's something about that. I got mine pre-ordered. I will pick it up Friday morning,
Hmm.
and shortly after 8 o'clock at Bridgeport
Can I
Village.
go with you?
Yeah,
Are we
you
gonna
can.
make a video? Are we gonna
We
do all
can make
that?
a video. I was gonna do a short or something like that, but um, we will talk more about that offline and leave the listeners waiting to hear. But
Yeah.
uh, speaking of iPhones, I saw an article this week from perfectrec.com confirmed the iPhone 15, not the Pros, is the most affordable iPhone since 2007. Now, what they did was adjusted for inflation. Since the first phone,
Yeah.
the current 15, because it is still priced at $799, is the cheapest, which
Hmm.
is great if you're buying a new iPhone. Not great in general with inflation and what it has done over the last several years. But these guys did a bunch of math on all the different phone models. Now, the iPhone SEs technically come in cheaper, but those are, for the base model iPhone. And they've got some charts on inflation and all of that stuff there. But it's a good deal and it's a good phone. And a couple of the things I think we forgot to mention last week. One, it now has the dynamic island.
Mm.
They doesn't have the notch anymore. It's got the dynamic island,
Yes.
which is I really enjoy that. And more apps are building in kind of their live notifications into that, and it's really been a nice feature. So it's cool that they brought that to the 15. And also, I don't think we talked too much about the AI automatic portrait mode that is
Yes.
coming to the 15 cameras across the line, where they are able to do so much computationally that you take a picture, if it recognizes a face, if the little yellow rectangles show up on there, it'll actually take all the portrait data with, blurring the background and all of that stuff, and just put it into the image file. So then afterwards you can adjust if you want to make a portrait, if you want to take the portrait off. But they're using that computational photography
And is that on the
to make
regular
that really
15
nice.
too?
Yes, that is
Okay.
on all of them. So they are doing some nice advancements to photo taking across the 15 lines. So
Well, because I'm a nerd, you're a not nerd, but
yes,
I'm a nerd. I made an Obsidian list of items titled iPhone 15 Pro Max features new to me. So,
yes.
because I'm moving from the
Oh,
13 Pro Max.
yeah, up to the 15. So you get,
Yeah.
yeah, a more typical 2 year jump. And I will
Yeah.
quickly mention that Todd commented that Mr. Beast video got 58 million views in one
The
day.
one that
And
was on the screen here earlier.
yes,
Yeah.
his videos. Isla and I watch a ton of Mr. Beast, but it is pretty crazy. He actually posted. He's only 25 years old, but he X'd today on X. He X'd an X on X today
Hmm. Okay.
about how many followers he had on YouTube for each birthday. And so, like at 12, it was zero, and then it slowly went up. But over the
Hmm.
last 13 years, he's now at like 180 million followers, the second most followed account, which I had forgotten. India's largest music service has like 250 million, but as an individual, he is by far the highest subscriptions on YouTube,
I have
just
a
ahead of Not Nerd.
yeah. I have a question. If he were
Yes.
previously married and he was talking to his previous spouse on Twitter, the old Twitter, would he X his ex on X?
Yeah, he would send an X.
To
He
his
would be
ex on X.
Xing an X to his X on
Yeah,
X.
that's
So
what I
you
was.
could
Yeah.
get to 4X, which would be like our show title which is one of our most listened to episodes ever, was Quadruple X.
Yeah. I wonder if people were searching for something besides a Not Nerd podcast, maybe when they were clicking on that.
Yes.
Maybe we should be a little more racy with our with
We
our
do need to get more racy, and so Dave, you said you had some features that were new to
Oh,
you coming from the
yes.
13.
So there's features that are new to everyone, like spatial photos and video, where you
Hmm.
can record 3D with the two top cameras. There's the action button that's new to everyone. The lighter titanium versus steel.
Yes.
The USB-C is new to everyone. The 5x
Yes.
zoom is new to everyone. The continuous portrait mode that you just mentioned is new to everybody. But what's going to be new to me from a 2-year upgrade is the 48 megapixel camera.
Oh
I didn't have
yeah.
that last year.
Yeah, that's a big jump.
Yeah, the dynamic island, as you mentioned, is going to be new
Hmm.
to me. And the always on display. Believe it or not, my phone does not have an always
Oh
on
yeah.
display. And
I forget how the
yeah,
rest of you live.
I know it's like we're a bunch of animals back here, some
Yeah.
Neanderthals. Although I do have, I think it's more Neanderthal DNA than like 68% of respondents. So
Oh wow.
keep that in
There you
mind.
go.
And I just dropped my controller, but please go on.
Okay. Well, yeah, there are so many features on the phone. We forget about so many of them. And if you're not getting a new phone or Apple
I'm
Watch
so
or
sad for
iPad this
you.
year, yeah, I am so sad for you. But today, as we record Monday, September 18th, the new versions of the operating systems are out.
Yes, they are.
So iOS 17, Watch OS 10, iPad OS 17. The Mac OS is not out yet. I think that maybe comes out next week, which is much earlier than usual. But I did want to mention a couple of the features because Dave and I have been running the betas for quite a while on our phones. But
What's wrong with
if
this
you're
wacky website here? What?
Mac rumors having some issues there,
Well,
um,
it's designed for like an iPhone, but I'm on a
oh,
website, so
very nice.
yeah.
But yes, they put together 10 new features that just launched on iOS 17. Now, some of the features they talked about back in June are releasing later, but things we do have is the standby mode, where if your phone is charging and it is horizontal, it turns into a customizable, like smart display where you can have by default on my phone. Let's see if I can get it to trigger again. It took a while for it to kick on, but you can customize that, put widgets in there. We've got the contact posters, which I haven't even messed with yet, where you can make a full
Oh,
screen
I
contact
have.
thing.
I've added a couple people on that.
Yeah. Is it fun?
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, my
Yeah.
son, I put him on there.
The name drop, which I don't know if I'll ever use because it seems like that's not going to be something intuitive to people, but to share your
Hmm.
contact information by bringing their iPhones close together. The live voicemail. Now, this was turned on. This is where it'll transcribe the voicemail in real time so you can be reading it as the person's leaving the voicemail. I found out in an early beta when I had this turned on, there was no voicemail message. People were calling me and it would just be like dead air. And so some of them would start talking, some of them didn't know what to do. I think hopefully they fixed that so it actually
Weird.
gives them a message.
Hmm.
Um, you have got swipe to reply in iMessage, which I had forgotten about this. Instead of holding down and hitting reply to a specific message, you can just swipe and reply to that in line.
Oh, I've never
Um,
tried that.
yes,
I mean, that's the tip of the week, right?
yeah, yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're getting a given, taking care of all your tips of the week here. Interactive widgets, which I haven't tried those. I don't use widgets much besides the weather widget,
Hmm.
but
Oh,
you
I'm
can do a
behind.
lot
Sorry.
more
There we go.
interactive stuff with the widgets. You've got improved autocorrect, which I think I've noticed that, where
Yeah,
it's a little more customized.
it's less words that I never would have ever said popping up for,
Yes,
like chillax there. I would totally
yes.
say that word.
The worst one is you and we host our podcast with Libsyn,
Hmm.
Libsyn, and whenever you type that, it would correct to, I think, Yibson. And I'm
Yeah,
like, what is
why?
that?
What's a
Not a
Yipson?
single Google result for Yibson.
Yeah,
So how, why, I don't know. Apple
strange.
Maps Offline, which is a very nice feature where you can download
Oh yeah.
maps ahead of time, so they're always there if you don't have good service.
Except it keeps like, hey, you haven't used this in a while. You should delete it. And I'm like,
Oh,
no,
really?
leave it.
No,
Don't
it.
delete it, you dumb dummy. I want it there for when I'm
Ah,
lost in the woods and don't have
yes,
cellular service. Anyway,
yes.
a little too
Um,
aggressive there. I'm delete me.
Yes, the stickers drawer, which is part of the new interface for stickers in messages or for everything in messages for photos or whatever you're trying to add in there. There's a new interface that I really like, but you have access to all your stickers,
Hmm.
the live stickers, which I created a first couple when I first got the beta, where you can like take a live photo and create something out of it and add that in there. But I don't use that a whole awful lot. I'm an emoji guy myself.
I've used it a little bit and it's kind of fun. But producer Todd says that his phone is constantly trying to correct iPhone into O phone and it makes no sense. I think it's conflating O face and iPhone maybe.
iPhone, yes,
Have you
yes,
said O face? It's from a movie. I'm not gonna pontificate on that.
yes,
But
yes.
anyway,
Yes. And then the last one they have on this article is Hey Siri is shortened to just Siri now.
which is going
Uh,
to cause some problems, and I think it's already started to cause problems. Um,
yeah.
uh, Looking forward to my tip of the week, I was working with a non-listener, Joanne, but she really should be a listener, but I don't think she has time. Um, she, I was teaching her how to do the tip of the week that's coming up, and I would talk about the feature, which is Siri,
Yes.
but it would start going on my phone because I'm saying Siri because I don't want to say Hey Siri to
Yeah.
turn it on. So anyway, I think you can turn that off in the
Oh,
settings.
yeah.
But it was like, well, I can't even have a conversation about the service now because it activates without the hey. So anyway, that's beside the point.
Yes, yes. And I rarely use that. I prefer to hold down the button to activate it because I don't want it
Hmm.
coming in out of nowhere all the time like it likes to do. But so that yeah, and there's tons of other iOS stuff that I don't even remember. But yeah, get it downloaded. The beta's been very stable, so I'm sure the release version I haven't heard about any technical difficulties on that. But yeah, go ahead and update your devices for the latest features.
Yes.
And one last piece of follow up. Remember Threads?
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at it earlier today.
Were you?
Yeah. Am I
I
the only person doing that?
Yeah, I have
Are we
not
on to
been on
something
there.
else now?
Yeah, we were on it for a couple days, but oh yeah, there
Yeah.
you are threading.
Yeah.
Well, some people started noticing that they added a search feature, which they didn't have a search feature forever, but
Yeah.
now with the search, for some reason, because COVID cases are going up, they have blocked terms related to COVID-19 and vaccines because they're having problems with what they term misinformation. There's other words like on Instagram and Facebook, there's a bunch of words that are, filtered. You can't
I
search for those things.
I thought it was alternative facts.
Alternative
Yeah.
facts, yes. But adult terms are blocked on there, but it seems a little weird that they
Hmm.
blocked COVID-19 and vaccines. I think it's probably just they turned it off. I have not used it since they added search to Threads, if that
Hmm.
tells you
I
anything.
didn't know it was there. How do I get it? Oh,
I don't
there's
search
a
magnifying
big
glass at the
magnifying
bottom.
glass there, I think. I think that's how you do it.
Yes. Which that you couldn't do that before. I mean, for discoverability, that is interesting,
Well,
but
that's weird. I typed in PEN pen and that seems to work just fine.
there you go.
I tried to say my pen is
Yes.
something and I forgot a space
Oh, forgot the
and
space
that
there.
did not whatever that word is did not pop up. So yeah, I
Yes,
guess you're
yeah.
right.
So Threads is still trying to figure it out. For everything I've seen, the user base is
Hmm.
down, way down from whatever it was, 100 million in the first couple days it downloaded or created an account, which was
Yeah.
it's just an add-on to your Instagram account. But they've
Well,
been slow to add in some of the features that people have enjoyed on other social media platforms.
you enjoy Facebook, but would you say that you enjoy hold on. I got a driveway cam
What?
update. Neighbor
Ooh,
walking by. There he
man,
is. Look at all this action happening here.
what a
Um,
bustling
whew.
metropolis.
So it was. What was I saying? Oh, would you say that you enjoy Threads or use Threads more than X? What is the service that you're using these days the
I
most?
I use X. I would say 90, no, let's say 80% of my social media is on X, and then it's probably 15% after that on Facebook, and then 5% on Instagram.
Yeah, I've kind of so just another update. Autoplay has taken me to
Oh,
um, the
oh,
Mac
there you go.
event,
Just the
and what's great about it is I can still kind of hear it. I don't want to hear it. There we go. I turned it off.
no, YouTube will take us down. We'll get
I know.
Dr. RIP VHS like copyright strikes if
Yeah.
we're.
So maybe we
Oh
can
yeah,
watch it as we go when the Dave Baylor mode we can watch it.
yes.
But anyway,
Yeah,
I keep
who needs
distracting us.
me?
I
Yes,
keep
yes.
distracting us
This
from
is
our
going to be
thing.
we're going for the longest episode ever here.
Yeah.
No, the rest will be shorter in theory. We knew we'd be talking about the new devices and the new
Yeah.
OSs for quite a while, but yeah, X, Twitter. I still call it Twitter unless I happen
Fairly
to
newer.
remember and want to make a joke about it. But I spend a ton of time on there. I get a ton of good information, and yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Good.
I like it. A little bit of everything. You know what else I like? Dave's pro tip of the week.
All right. So this week I teased that I spoke with a friend,
Yeah.
Joanne, about how to utilize voice on her phone. Joanne happens to be, how do I say this delicately, older than me
Hmm.
by a fair margin. And she would prefer to talk on the phone. And she interfaces with other ladies of her generation, probably younger than her generation, who also like to talk on the phone. And so she would tell me, I do some business stuff with her. She says, don't text me. Just call me or email me. I don't even really like email, but what are you going to do? And I met with her this week and she said, you know what? I want you to show me how to do the texting better. And you
Hmm.
mentioned that you could use your voice or something and talk into it. Let's go over that. And I was like, this is a great day.
Yeah.
Now I'll probably have to do some touch up sessions with her, but she did write them down. But I wanted to remind people, even though we've talked about this type of stuff on Dave's Pro Tip of the Week before, you can send and reply to text messages using Siri. And does she go off? No, she didn't go off. That's good.
Whew.
So if Nate texted me, I could say, hey Siri, reply to last message, or I could say, uh, send text message to Nate Heath, or there's probably some other things I could do. But then she will reply and say, well, what do you want to say to this person? And you say it and it will dictate it. And typically it will show it on the screen what it's doing. I have mine set. It's a little dangerous, but I like to reply to text messages in the car with my voice. And so I have it auto send so I don't have to
Hmm.
interface with the phone at all. And so I'll dictate my message. She'll repeat it back to me and it'll just automatically send unless I say cancel or stop or edit or whatever. I've never really been one to edit my message with the voice.
Yeah.
It seems I just
I've
cancel.
noticed. Oh.
Oh, yes. I cancel and then I like redo it again. But the main feature that she wanted help with was not really hands free. It was how do I reply to, and she had like 56 unread text messages with just speaking into the phone. So I'd like to remind people just exactly how to do that. And let's see if I have text messaging on this device. If I don't, then we're going to use my other device. It looks like it's here. Um, I don't want to risk crashing my OBS, so I'm not going to try to switch this to the main
Yes.
camera. But here I am in messages. And if I tap inside the search field, on most phones, you'll notice there's a microphone
Hmm.
icon that shows up right there.
Yes.
If you tap that, a search, well, I let me try that again. If you tap it while your cursor is in the text field, what you say will be transcribed and typed into the field. Then you can just simply send the message. I see people all the time walking down the hallway or the road and they're like, tell, or they've got a message ready to go and they're like, I'll be home at 6 o'clock tonight, period. I will pick up pizza on the way, comma, the kind that you like, period. I will also pick up some soda, period. And then they hit send. Well, if you're very good at typing on this tiny screen, you can do that really fast, but most
Yeah.
people can say it faster than they can type it. And so here will be a quick demo. I'm in the text field, and this works, by the way, across I would say all applications on
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
iPad and your iPhone. It's just built into the text feature. And I'm going to hit the little microphone and I'm going to say, hey, it was fun talking with you today, period. I hope that you had a good time. And you know what? I just realized that I'm in the search field. I'm not in a new message. So
Yeah.
let me go into a proper
And
search
I will
field.
give, while you're doing that, I'm going to give a bonus pro tip
Okay.
that with iOS 17 and the improved Siri dictation, you do not need to do the punctuation anymore. It will put
Oh,
it in there for you.
interesting. Even question marks and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it'll take the intonation of your voice and the text that you say, and it's been pretty accurate for from what I've learned. So that is a new feature we did not talk about earlier that I just remembered as you were talking through this.
Well, I tell you what, Nate, I'm going to pick up my main phone here, and I'm going to
Yes,
start. I'm going to I'm going to send a bunch of messages, garbage stuff to you
perfect.
because I don't want it to be on the
Oh,
screen.
show the
Yeah, okay. So I don't want people to know what we're talking about. So on my phone, this is what it looks like. I have a new message for Nate
yeah,
ready to go. There's my keyboard, and my thing is down here. So I'm going to say tap. I went to the store today, period. It was incredibly fun. If you don't have an opportunity to go to the store, I would say, what are you doing with your life? Oh, it did it.
yes, it put the question mark on there for you.
It
See?
put the question mark. Well, that's handy.
Yeah,
And then, so back to the tip, once you press into the text field, be it a note or an email or a message, you can just hit the send in this particular case and send the message on and they'll reply and you can tap in there again. So a great powerful feature that I think not a lot of people of a certain age group are utilizing because they don't like to text and so they don't know about this feature.
yeah,
But all of us, if we can go and let people know that it's because I prefer texting over calling. So if I can indoctrinate somebody to text instead of call me, oh,
oh,
it's a win. My life just got
true.
better.
Yes.
So anyway, this is a reminder. It's there. I should probably use it more than I do because I find myself I'm sitting there typing. I'm like, why am I doing
Yeah.
this? So,
Yes. And the dictation has gotten better. If you
yeah.
used it years ago and you're like, oh, it never got anything right, they have continuously made improvements on that. And now you don't even have to say the punctuations. You can just talk naturally, and it does a pretty dang good job of transcribing that for you.
hmm
So,
So I wonder if this is just kind of a little uh, sidestep. If people have been not listening to what I've been saying and instead been watching Jeff Williams on the
yes,
dock.
I
Uh,
know I have been.
yeah, I'm sure.
The Apple coverage there. Well, thank you for that tip. That is a great reminder and a very helpful and useful thing to use.
Yeah,
But it is time for everybody's favorite segment, just the headlines. And we'll switch back to that driveway cam while
yeah,
I read the headlines. Hopefully, we'll get some more action. It's been so exciting tonight.
I know.
But here we go. China's Apple iPhone ban appears to be retaliation, US says.
Surprise Pikachu face.
NASA inspired airless bicycle tires are now available for purchase.
Cool.
Apple discontinues iTunes movie trailers app.
Swear words.
Meta's Horizon Worlds avatars finally have legs.
Next.
Apple will update iPhone 12 in France after regulators said it emitted too much radiation. The Pentagon has the worst IT help desk in the US
Wait a
government.
minute. Have they taken a look at my business?
Are you the US government?
No, but I'm a help desk person.
Google Meet's new AI will be able to go to meetings for you.
Yay!
And those are just the headlines. And no action on the drone. And
I'm trying
Dave's
that
checking
Horizon.
out his
I want
legs.
to see Mark Zuckerberg's legs. Oh,
Yes.
woo! He's got legs that go all the way to the floor.
Yes. What
Okay.
a revolutionary technology. Thank you, Meta, for the
Yes.
thing that nobody's really using anymore.
Yeah.
Well, let us move on to our takes of the week.
Let's do it. What do we got
The
lined up for today?
This first one, this study I thought was, or look into this was interesting from the AP. Artificial intelligence technology behind ChatGPT was built in Iowa with a lot of water. So
Hmm.
nobody really knew where ChatGPT came from, but apparently it was from the Des Moines area of Iowa, and they started looking at this, and I have to put an asterisk on this. And they did some math, and I saw some different headlines on this, which were even more sensational. But about halfway down, it says in a paper due to be published later this year, Wren's team estimates ChatGPT gulps up to 500 milliliters with an M of water, close to what's in a 16-ounce water bottle, every time you ask it a series of between 5 to 50 prompts or questions. The range depending where its servers are located and the season. Here's my
Now,
asterisk. The estimate includes indirect water usage that the companies don't measure, such as to cool power plants that supply the data centers with electricity. So because I saw headlines that were like, every time you use ChatGPT, it's using a bottle of water to cool their servers and do all that stuff, and it's going to be the end of the world because it's
why
using
is
so
this?
much water.
Everything uses water.
Yes,
When I go
yes.
to work and I
So,
flush the toilet, I'm using water. But when you first started reading this headline, I just wanted to be like, okay, Jenny, I'm not a smart man. Like, what is this even trying to communicate? But I guess someone's really hot over it to write an article.
well, the water's really hot over it, but yeah. So, and much of the other headlines, most of the other headlines I saw were like they uses a bottle of water. Where this one, it's just kind of part of the article on this report, and a lot of all these server farms, everything uses a lot of water to do the cooling in their systems and all this
Hmm.
stuff. But yeah,
What is
it's something to
Apple's
get clicks.
what does Apple's iCloud server use for water per
Oh
day
yeah, they didn't talk about
per
that in their
query?
environmental segment of the
Yeah.
event last week. But yeah, so it uses water. It was developed in Iowa. It's ChatGPT. There was another article I saw that I didn't put in the show notes, but ChatGPT use has continued to. I mean, you remember back at what was it, the end of last year into the beginning of this year? It was like everything was ChatGPT all the time, and the usage has kind of cooled off. One, because there's a bunch of other services, some of them more specialized for marketing or certain industries. But yeah, ChatGPT, I don't
Yeah.
know. I use it here and there, but it has not changed my game yet.
Well, a couple things. One, Dr. RIPVHS, aka producer Todd, has said I would really kill for a Dave plays the metaverse. Uh,
Yes,
and and I
yes.
don't show people what I'm doing. It's just me going,
Just
oh, and describing it. Okay,
yeah,
I'm
there
walking
we go.
upstairs, and then let me see. It's like a flower.
Oh, yes. See
Yeah,
how good you could do it describing the
yeah.
metaverse while
Describe the
playing
metaverse.
it without showing it to anybody.
And I hate
Uh,
to interrupt also, but speaking of social.
Yes.
things, I'm on Be Real with my kids and one
Yes.
of my kids' friends. And so I have 40 seconds to post to Be Real. So every smile, everyone. You're going to be on Be Real. And it was just Nate because
Yes.
I can't see everyone else, which is
Wow.
probably a
Yes, the
good thing.
episode, the Be Real.
Yeah,
Uh, I
Be Real.
installed the app. I don't think I ever took one of the pictures. I
Remember when
don't.
we used to be Real friends?
Yeah,
Now we're
I
just
do.
a
I
shell of
think
our
I turned
former
off
relationship.
notifications, which kind of defeats the purpose of Be Real
Yeah.
completely. Uh, well, so that's our update on AI. It uses water. But a couple security and privacy stories this week. Your web browser of choice, and I believe producer Todd's as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mozilla patches Firefox Thunderbird against zero-day exploited in attacks. So
Well,
make sure
good
you
for them, but
update your
I'm
Firefox.
I'm a little scared that it was there to begin with.
Yeah. Well, it happens everywhere. Microsoft has how many every month, and
Oh boy,
which I didn't see. I'm
dozens and
sad I have not
millions.
come across our Patch Tuesday update, but I'm sure we'll have that for next week. So tune in next week for that. But yeah, a zero-day exploit in Mozilla. Have you ever used Thunderbird email client?
I have, and it was never anything so awesome that I wanted to stick with it. So,
Yes,
but
yes.
I've used it before.
I have a client that does not like to spend money. I do not
Mm,
do a lot of work for them, but instead of
yeah.
paying for Office, they use, I think, Open Office, and then they all use Thunderbird, which seems to always have issues with having their email work. Minor detail. But
Yeah.
another one of our favorites, your
Mm-hmm.
Wyze webcam may have let other owners peek into your house, which
Well,
I would start off by saying, think twice about having Wyze cams in or any smart cameras in your house.
yeah, joke's on them. Mine are all facing outwards, so.
Yes, the driveway, somebody might have seen your driveway cam
Oh
that we
no.
just showed people for
There
minutes on end.
there is an exception. I do have one Wisecam pan. Here, I'll switch over to the thing back here, and it is strategically pointed at my 3D printer.
Oh,
Oh, something's
yes.
gonna fall. So my 3D printer, so I can see it remotely if I'm at work or in another part of the house or something and it's printing and if I have to shut her down, I used to have a remote switch where I could just kill it.
Yes.
But it's nice to see how, you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, it's like half done. So,
Yes. Yes.
but
Well,
it's not pointing at any people.
no, no. I have a non-Zuckerberg Meta right now. I decided to use
Oh,
my Command R, my drink,
mm-hmm.
refresh my drink can koozie.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
hilarious.
finished my drink, so I'm going to take out my ginger lime polar and replace it with a Kroger Original Seltzer water. So I just Command R my drink.
That is very meta. And since we're showing drinks, I think what we ought to do on this show is like many podcasts would be like, yeah, tonight we're drinking the fine artisan
Sponsored.
vintage whatever aviator
Yes.
gin from Ryan Reynolds or whatever, and then we could be like, oh, and we're smoking a Monte Cristo cigar or whatever. So we could have all of
Swisher
our
Sweet
vices. Yeah,
Cigar.
we could
Yes.
have all of our
The
vices here on
Vice
our.
Cast.
Yeah,
Write that one down for our other podcast ideas. We haven't had one of those for a while. We'll do
that list
our
is
Vice
nowhere to be
Cast.
found.
That'll be on the Patreon.
Hmm.
Supporters only will get the Vice Cast.
People are like, it's Apple products. We know your vices. So
Yes, yes. So this Wise thing, I am in some Wise groups on Facebook because I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook. But I did see some people mention this. From my understanding, it was a very brief amount of time um,
they
that
did
this was
have a
happening.
scandal before though, where there was a known flaw, and in one of their earlier cameras, and instead of fixing it, they just let they had a new version come out and they just let the old one sell out. Like they didn't
Wow.
stop selling it or try to
Nice.
fix it or do firmware. It was just like, well, let's just sell out of stock.
Yes.
And that's how they made the problem go away, which was a little
Yes.
shady.
So it does say the statement Crosby from Dave Crosby from Crosby, Stills and Nash, no, from Wyze, said this was a web caching issue and is now resolved. For about 30 minutes this afternoon, a small number of users who used a web browser to log into their camera on view.wyze.com may have seen cameras of other users who also may have logged in through view.wyze.com during that time frame. The issue did not affect the Wyze app or users that did not log in to view.wyze.com during that period. They shut down that website for about an hour and to fix the issue. But yeah,
I
so
don't
the
think I've ever
chances that
used View.Wise.
I did not know that existed,
I'm
so
going to click
neither
on it.
did I.
I'm going to click on it. So I'm going to click away. I wonder if this is a better way to do to do
Do the
the
driveway
cam.
cam, then have the
Yeah.
app on our Silicon Macs.
All right. Well, we'll see here. Please continue it while I do this. I
Yeah,
won't be
see if you can
distracted at
see
all.
if the problem's back and you can accidentally see some other people's cameras. I'm logging in as well. I'm going to check on man through this. I could probably share my camera with you and you could do my driveway
Well,
cam
you can do
sometime.
that through the app.
Oh, it is not. Livestream is currently not supported on select camera group.
Oh,
Only supports select Wisecam models for now. I have the outdoor cams, the wireless ones, so that's probably
yeah,
why I
because they're
can't do
not
it.
continuously sending data to the user. I have
I can
experience with
see
this.
my
The battery goes
events
very
though.
quickly.
Yeah, the live stream, I can see my events.
Oh, you have to have
Uh,
Cam Plus. That's why I've never used this.
oh,
I don't pay
there
for
you
their
go.
garbage Plus service.
There you go. Well, we do love Wise. We love their products. If they want to sponsor the podcast, we have had many Wise products, and it sounds like they took care of this pretty quick. It was a web caching issue, and so they fixed it. Um, a little bit bigger issue that happened this past week, the MGM hack where it took down Las Vegas. And the article I have in the show notes is from ABC News. And this says Las Vegas struggles to get back online after cyber attack. MGM resorts have systems down after being targeted by a hacker a week ago. The disruptions have resulted in a cyber investigation by the FBI. So this is actually just a video here. There's no article, but yeah, MGM had a major hack and
And meanwhile, casinos have lost zeros of dollars, but
yes, exactly.
patrons have lost billions.
Yes, yes. For some reason they were protected, but
Yeah, it's funny how
yeah,
that
so it's got a
happens.
video of the news story. Maybe I'll put another additional link in talking more about the stuff, but
I guess
uh,
that's the only way to see it here is to.
watch the video. Chaos and concern in Sin City. And yeah,
I tried to
they've got
mute it and it
slot
wouldn't let me.
machines
Yeah.
with error screens on them. So yeah, casinos have a little bit of technology, so not good when they get hacked.
No, and I mean, we all should have seen that coming, right?
Yes,
Uh,
it's
there's
bound
a
to happen at some point.
there's a season 3 of a certain show. I won't say it because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but it involves a cyber attack from somebody, and
Oh,
they were able to lock doors and turn on cameras and stop elevators and stuff like that. So
season 3 of Alf? I have
yeah,
not watched it yet,
it
so
is
thanks for
out.
the spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's been out for
Oh
27
man.
years.
Well, with 3 security and privacy stories, we need a good bonus odd take. So this one I came across via kotkey.org, but I linked directly to the site. It is called AirPano, a virtual journey around the world. And we've had some similar ones, but I don't think we've had this one. And it has 360-degree panoramic images from all over the world. Like the top one is a grand tour of Manhattan, New York, in the United States. And it does take a
Hmm.
moment to load, but these massive panoramic, and there's some little question marks where you can open the wiki of, oh, and there's music.
Hmm.
Geez, let me mute that site.
Mine's
Um,
muted apparently, but
but you
let's zoom
can
in. I want to see
zoom in a
that
little
boat.
bit, but
Oh, not very much.
uh,
So this is something that I could make with my Insta360
yes,
X3 camera that we've talked about before. It takes
yes.
pictures in all directions. Let's see what it looks like going down. And you might have seen a house for sale that has a similar. Oh, wow, they've done a good job kind of getting rid of the
Oh, they've
stitching.
got some northern lights on there.
I
Yeah,
know
I
what
wonder
they've
if they
done.
would take a submission for Harvester Lane.
Maybe. I think what they've done here is had a camera that spins around and takes a
Oh,
long photo versus like a 360 camera. Uh,
yeah. Some of them are different though. Like the Northern Lights one I saw at the bottom of the page from Terra Kola Peninsula. It's 12K 360 video via YouTube. So YouTube supports
yeah.
360 video, so you can go in there and actually watch video in 360. So it depends on what you click. But airpano.com, and they
Well,
have a map if you scroll down the homepage where you can see you can pick by location. You can see the world map there and all the different
it
locations they
doesn't.
have there.
All I'm getting is black. I don't. I'm looking at the screen
You're
with
looking
my
at your
visor.
Quest.
Okay. So I have looked at not 3D, pano pictures like this. One of them that's cool is like you're in a hot air balloon or
Oh, yeah.
you're like in a jungle canopy and it's just a photo they've taken and you can look around. Or it actually, I think they're live video, not live video, they're
Yeah.
video, but it's just sitting there. And then you could look over here and oh, there's a monkey jumping, or oh, a bird flew over here. So they're kind of immersive. And I've been on waterfalls and stuff like that. And the fidelity is not that great. And that's one of the things with the Apple Vision headset that I'm looking forward to trying one day is the
Yes.
really high resolution, high
Yeah.
fidelity
Yes.
stuff that makes it feel like you're there. So that'd be cool.
Very nice. But yeah, check out airpano.com. They've got a bunch of different stuff there and virtual tours and all kinds of stuff. So when you need to escape everything else going on, you can go visit somewhere on airpano.com.
Very
Not a
cool.
sponsor. Uh, but you know what is a sponsor? Our picks of the week.
Yes. This week I have picked something not because it's just the most amazing thing in the world, not because it's not something you haven't heard of before. It is because it's the last item I purchased on my Amazon
Nice.
purchase list. And that, my friends, and I think maybe I've talked about it, is, and actually, let me get the link going up here.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
I'm going to
pulled it
make
up
you
here
wait.
myself.
It's the JOYROOM. Here, I'll bring it up here so everybody can enjoy it together. The JOYROOM for Magsafe car mount charger, 15-watt car mount for iPhone wireless fast charging magnetic car phone mount holder for Magsafe charger vent mount fits iPhone 15 Pro and Max plus 14, 13, 12 Magsafe case
Woo.
for $29.99, but you can apply a 10%
Oh,
discount. And I
very
believe
nice.
when I purchased it, they did not have the word 15 in there
Hmm.
because the phone hadn't come
Oh,
out yet
yes.
then. So they've done a little adding there of the thing. So it is just another car mount. I moved the one from my main car into my little beater car that you can actually see it out there
Yeah, on the
on the
driveway
driveway
cam.
cam. That blue
Oh,
car.
yes.
I
The
moved
Butte.
I moved my charger into there, and so I hadn't needed another one for the Pathfinder that you saw in there earlier. So So the exciting thing about this that's different is one, why do they have to put LEDs on everything? This
Yes.
ring lights up and I'm just like,
Ah.
why does it do this? But an improvement over this one is that it is MagSafe, what do you dang it? See where it gives this little uh,
Oh, it's
animation?
MagSafe compliant
Compliant, so
or
it'll show
whatever.
up and do its little curly Q animation. If you have one that does not support that, that does not turn on. It'll charge it,
Yeah.
but it won't go blurp. And it's kind of funny. My old one did it every once in a while, like it tricked it somehow
Yeah.
into thinking it was working. But it charges great. It sticks there great. It's a great product, and it's not that expensive. So if
Yeah.
you're like, I gotta buy Apple's $50 MagSafe solutions for everything, no, for like $30 or $25, you can get
20
something.
bucks with the coupon.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, with the $10 off. So yeah, that's what it cost me. It was great, and it works just fine. So I wanted to let you know in case you were in the market for such
Yeah.
an item.
Yes, and I have my convoluted. It's an Apple Magsafe cable that's in this mount that I bought in a separate thing with a dash mount that's separate thing. So it's like this Frankenstein system that works very well in my car. But I would like to have something in my wife's car. My car was in the mechanic, and I was just lost without my
Mm-hmm.
mount there. And maybe next week I'll tease this out. Uh,
Okay.
Last Monday, since we weren't recording the episode, we had the Apple event on Tuesday. On Monday night, instead of recording an episode, I had the pleasure of visiting a seatbelt and distracted driving class. So I've got some little tidbits that I learned at that class that we'll discuss next week because we're going on 4 hours this episode or whatever we're at.
We're just
But
1 minute over from an hour.
Yes, yes, but anyways, I will talk about that next week. But having an amount like this is really nice, and this looks like a good one. Is there a way that you could like break the LEDs? The only good
Oh,
thing about the LEDs is shows you plugged in, but as soon as you put your phone on it, you'll know it's charging.
yeah. Well, when your phone is over the top of it, you can't really
Yeah,
see
I
the
guess you don't
LEDs,
see
and
it.
they may turn off. I'm not exactly sure because I don't drive that car as much anymore. Um, but what I thought would be really distracting at night wasn't that big of a deal. But
Yeah.
my big ones are when you have a desk side charging unit like that, and they put all these bright LEDs. It's like, did you think maybe somebody might want to sleep next
Yeah.
to their
Yes, I did.
phone? And
Uh,
my particular one has, it's a great device, but by the charge port is a super bright blue LED. So when you plug it in and it's plugged in, like just it's
yes.
plugged into the wall, it's super bright. It's like, what are you
Nice.
thinking?
And it is USB-C
It
or
is.
USB-A? USB-C. Very
It is a
nice.
USB-C. Yes.
Very cool. Well,
And
thank you for that.
my 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 car charger's an A port, so I just have an A to C cable. Although
Ah,
I am in the market for a USB-C car charge thing, and I might be pulling the trigger on that soon. And I think it's also from JOYROOM. So, the
oh,
household name in car products,
yes, yes.
JOYROOM.
I'll have to look up the one I think I did as a pick of the week a while back that I really works well for my. It's got three ports, one USB-C and two USB-A, I think. But
Yeah, the one I was looking at is 2C and 1A. So,
nice. Very nice. We're
yeah.
moving to a USB-C world, people. And my pick of the week this week has nothing, zero to do with USB
Mm,
at all. It is not an electronic device, but I've had a couple picks in the past about cold brew. I love cold brewed coffee, and I
man,
received
you
this for my
do.
birthday back in June. And if you can bring it up, I didn't. Actually, mine is empty right now. I need to make some coffee tonight. But this is the Brew to a Tea cold brew coffee maker, 1 gallon mason jars, drink dispenser, gallon cold brew coffee maker, iced tea maker, cold brew coffee carafe, beverage dispenser, glass dispenser. So, whoo, I have really lost it there.
Wow.
I went a little slow at the beginning, but so what this is it's a gallon container that looks like a mason jar, and then it has a spigot, which are very common. You'll see them for, my mom's got one for ice water dispenser or whatever at
Mm-hmm.
a party or a wedding. You see these all the time. But this comes with a filter so that I can make my cold brew. So I can make a gallon of cold brew coffee at a time. So just two of those a day, and I'm set for my coffee. Oh,
Wow.
wait, no, not quite that much. It lasts me 3 or 4 days. I had a large pitcher, but this is nice. Just make it, put it in the fridge, dispense my coffee, and it is really a nice thing. I had an issue with my metal filter on the inside.
Yeah.
Contacted the company. They sent me out a new one. Brew to a T. BTAT is the maker of this one. There's other options available, but it's only $32.
Okay.
Um, they do have some different sizes, and there are hundreds of different cold brew makers and containers. I've got everything from like a 1 cup thing up to this gallon one. But cold brew coffee, I love it. Dave, I know you are not a believer
You
in
know,
cold brew coffee. I just always drink my drinks cold, and so
hmm
cold brew makes sense.
well, we tend to drink drinks that are the same temperature of our hearts. So
Yes,
um,
it's a very true. Cold drinks for a cold heart.
now I have enjoyed cold brew recently, this
Yes.
summer actually.
Oh
Now my
yeah.
very fancy Keurig over here has a cold brew setting on it.
Oh
Um,
really?
and you think, what? How does that work? Well, you put ice into your container and then you press
Ah.
the cold brew option and it brews it. It must brew it slower and maybe at a cooler temperature,
Hmm.
and puts in less water to compensate for the ice. And then, so it melts pretty much the ice as you brew it in there. And then you put
Oh,
some
gotcha.
more ice in there. So your first ice kind of makes it room temperature. And then your second ice kind of makes it, and your mileage may vary depending on your container. Uh, but I put I've done that before and I put a little stevia in it. And then I put my heavy whipping cream in there and I shake it up. And I'm like, you know what? Now, this isn't too bad. Black
Yes.
cold brew, I'm not a fan of still. But if you doctor it up a little bit with a little non-glycemic sweetener and some heavy whipping cream, then it's golden.
Yes. Yes. And I will note, I just do a splash of heavy cream in mine.
Hmm.
No sweetener, but that is what I am used to. But yeah, cold
Yeah.
brew, it's a thing, and this is a nice big dispenser to
Yeah,
make
that's
it, so you don't
huge.
have to make it. Yeah,
That
it's
thing is a chonker.
it is, and it would also double to do any kind of other drink dispensing if we ever had a gathering. For if we have a not nerd gathering, I will bring a gallon of cold brew
I love
for us to
this.
partake in.
I love their pro con thing here. Theirs heavy and difficult to clean, which must imply that theirs is lightweight.
Yeah.
Small, theirs is small and need to brew coffee every day. So I guess you could put it in your fridge, right? Keep it nice.
Yes, yes, that's correct.
Theirs lid doesn't tighten securely and spigot pours slowly. Now, how do
I
they
don't know
know?
what they're talking about because
How,
they're talking about like a single unit device that's smaller. So how can it be heavier than this thing?
yeah,
And their spigot, yeah, I
they're
would be interested which product they are comparing this to.
yeah. They said, "Hey Tommy, make 5 bullet points,"
Yes.
and
Hey,
he's like,
ChatGPT.
okay, yeah." So that's about
Yes,
it.
yes,
Well,
but
I'm a little disappointed. I don't know who else is listening right now, but as much as I love Dr. RIP VHS, nobody else has entered the
yeah,
chat.
yeah, we've had a couple other people come into the live stream, and it is a great reminder to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have been getting some new subscribers, and ring that bell so it'll remind you every Monday night when we go live. It's usually at 6:30 Pacific Monday nights. But
Hmm.
yeah, we love people joining in. Chris and Wes and Chelsea usually join in, but we would love to get more people because then we have more input, and you can correct us. You can ask questions when we get really confusing. You can tell us we're wrong about stuff, all kinds of good stuff. But
Well,
yeah, so join in live.
totally. And I think maybe we should just do like a 3-hour show. That way people have,
Have more
uh,
time to join us
yeah,
live.
yeah.
There you go. You're a
So
genius.
I had to reply to my daughter who's bringing me coffee. Speaking of
Oh,
coffee, some whole ground coffee. So anyway, that piece of my parenting is done. So yeah,
nice. Good
great.
job.
So next
Well,
week we'll be on for 3 hours.
yes, yes, indeed. And since we have gone quite a good amount of time, we will wrap up this episode. Thanks again for everybody that watches on YouTube. It's a great way to do it because we do a lot of visual stuff. You can't hear the driveway cam if you're listening to the podcast, but we still
That
do
is
make it
true.
available in podcast because that's what a lot of people like to do. But we will keep doing it, and you keep enjoying it because we want everybody to get out there and tech better.
And as we're nice, as we're serenaded by this music, I'll just say I think we just caught up with the Beast guy as far as
Yeah,
followers on YouTube. So
nice.
good
Yes,
night,
we're doing it.
everybody.